Now we review the 2023 film Knock at the Cabin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen Knock at the Cabin, the latest M. Night Shyamalan film. And basically, the world's worst Jehovah's Witnesses show up at this gay couple's house and try to convince them that God is real and the apocalypse is upon us. Before I get into that, may I remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So if you would be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, again, 4 people are compelled by horrific visions to gather in the woods and essentially trap this 2 gay men and their adoptive daughter. And they keep showing them news footage that shows the world being destroyed. To convince them that they have to kill one of the 3 in order to save the world. And of course, one of the 3 has to kill one of the 3. The 4 people can't kill anyone, okay? Other than themselves, I guess. They can't kill one of the 3 to make the sacrifice. It has to be a willing sacrifice. Somebody has to give in and say, okay, you know. And just to point this out here, I'm a man who grew up in the Jewish faith, and I have to say this is a little offensive because, you know, yes, in the Old Testament, in the Torah, God can be kind of a dick, you know, smiting people for some silly reasons and all that. But, you know, the story of Isaac would tell us that the willingness to sacrifice was all he required. Okay? That's from faith, from the temple, from how I grew up. This is not that. This makes no damn sense and is just, you know, the story of a God with a bad sense of humor coming to screw up humanity. All right? And, you know, there's that. So I'm just going to say, from that standpoint, you may be offended because it's a little offensive, you know? It's like, why these people? Why would you judge these people who may not even be of the Abrahamic religions, who may have never been them? It's like, why these people? It doesn't make sense. So yes, well, let's just take that and put it to the side here. And I have to make another point. Really does not portray homosexuals in a very positive light. You know, there are a couple of points where they're like, you know what, let the world burn. I don't care. And I understand that if you don't have that, you don't have much of a movie. You know, but you know, there are just things that are depicted in the script, in the film, you know, in the flashbacks, that show these people as, you know, not being the nicest people in the world. And yes, there's some justification for that, but it's like, you know, we've all met that person that thinks you're persecuting them for whatever they are, you know, and they're really annoying, and, you know, that's kind of something that's put on in this particular movie. So it can also be highly offensive to homosexuals, and again, maybe you're offended by it, maybe you're not. It is a matter of interpretation. You could say it's just these characters, and these characters are this way, because if the characters were not this way, you wouldn't have a movie. All right, so I'm going to take all that. I'm going to set it aside at the moment. Yes, there are people who will be offended by this. I know one of them. He's a good friend of mine. He's part of the LGBTQ community, and he is just fuming because this movie was so offensive to him. I want my audience to know that that happens. Now, again, you are treated to two narratives in this movie. There is what is happening right now and what is happening in the past that we keep getting flashbacks of. And, again, the flashbacks are not 100% necessary to the narrative. They do give us more about the characters, the three characters who are the victims of this film, and it may or may not endure you to them, may not. Again, it's something that I really feel was there to pad the runtime, may have been in the novel. A good novel tends to be 2 or 3 movies worth of material. Just so you'll know. That's what a good novel is. 2 or 3 movies worth of material. Stephen King novel like The Stand, obviously that's like 10 movies worth of material. But yeah, I mean, your average kind of novel feels like it's about 3 movies worth of material. A novella is a movie or 2 movies. That's how it works. So there's that there. And then, what's happening in the moment is really solid acting. Okay, Batista, I believe this guy, was a teacher, even though he does not have the body of a teacher. I had some teachers that were fairly large people, and even fairly large and athletic people. This guy, I mean, again, it's really hard to believe somebody is big and burly and gruff. But, he is clearly in this movie. He plays a very tender character. He's here because he's trying to save the world. And, I mean, just the matter-of-factness of his performance is really, really swaying. And then there is, of course, I forget his name. I think he was like Ron Weasley or something. One of the Harry Potter actors. Really, still, yet another excellent performance. He's kind of a dick in this movie, but it shows that he has emotions. He shows that he has levels. So that's very excellent. And then, again, the ending of this film is very powerful. I don't want to give it away, but I mean, it is very powerful. So yeah, look, again, be advised that if you are the kind of person that is insulted by the twisting of religion for narratives, or insulted by, can be insulted by negative depictions of homosexuals, you might want to steer clear of this movie. Otherwise, it is a solid film, and it does belong somewhere in the middle of your watch list. Not a film you should go run out and see, because it's not like, oh my god, I love this movie. I would probably not watch it again, because I found several parts slow. But it is a solid narrative. It tells a story, and I mean, if you could kind of look past those points, you could probably enjoy it. It is not the best M. Night Shyamalan film you're ever going to see, but it's also not the worst, from what I understand. Anyway, that is just my opinion, and I would love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard. Randall the Rat here once again, and I'm here to remind you humans to comment, like, and subscribe. And you know why? Well, have you watched the news? Mother Nature is pissed! And we can help. Because each one of these necklaces I'm wearing, it's a medal from the Conqueror. And in addition to being awesome bling, each one of them represents 5 trees. 5 glorious trees that the owner of this channel has had planted. I'm wearing 5 of these, so I've got 25 trees around my neck. 25 of the more than 100 that have been planted so far. So if you want to do your part to unpiss off Mother Nature, listen to old Randall here, and comment, like, and subscribe. Or, of course, I could just eat your face and make there be less humans to pollute the environment. Global warming sucks, and you're delicious.